What's going on, everybody? It's Jamie and welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. This week we're going to be doing a What Sold video, but before we get into that, I want to invite you Sunday night, November 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My friends Scott and Adam, we're going to be on Scott's channel. Scott sells stuff. I will link it down below. If you haven't seen his live show before, we're going to do a little bit of talk beforehand about reselling and just kind of what's been going on. Then we're going to share stuff that we picked up through the week. So I have picked up some stuff. I have it set aside here. I'm going to share it with you on his channel Sunday night. And then if you don't know about Beaver Time, make sure you tune in. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of fun. So Sunday night, November 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will link his channel down below. Join us over there. But for now, let's get into some What Solds. All right, the first thing I want to share with you guys is this vintage gingerbread man 90s vest. Okay, so it's a Christmas vest that I picked up at the Goodwill bins for a very, very low cost. So everything there is by the pound. I couldn't tell you exactly what I paid for this. Probably 50 cents, maybe $1, maybe less than that. It is super cheap. You're paying by the pound. You know, the back is plain. It's got buttons. There is a condition issue. I will also show you right here. Made in Hong Kong, hand embroidered, size large, and you can see 1994. So that's, you know, I'm still assuming a little bit it's 90s because it's copyright 94, but this does not look modern for sure to me. Doesn't look like something that you picked up at Walmart for sure, and it's way higher quality. You can see the gingerbread guys and girls there are super cute. There was one condition issue. You can see it right here at the bottom button has like some of the material rubbed off. You can see even better right here because I wanted to make sure the person who bought it knew that there was a flaw, and it's basically, it's not in the title, but it is in the description, and I have photos of it, so it's very visible. Now, similar ones to this sell anywhere from $24 to about $40. Because this one had a condition issue, I put mine kind of right in the middle, but it did sell within just a couple of days for $29 plus shipping. Next up, it seems like it wouldn't be a video recently without a VCR or VCR DVD combo sale on Etsy. They seem to sell for me often on Etsy, and I don't know why. It's for more money than I list them on eBay for. The shipping prices are the same. People on Etsy really like their DVDs and VCRs apparently. So regardless, this is a JVC unit. The model is right here. It is HRJ6000. This one has this little toggle wheel on it, which makes it a little bit more interesting. So I would say a pretty basic VCR might be around $50, but this one is a little more high end. But yeah, regardless, JVC is a great brand, so you're gonna get a little bit more money for it. Other than that, I would say this thing is built like a tank. It was a little bit heavy. It cost me less than $20 to ship it. I charge always $20 in Canada and in the US to ship these things, and it costs me anywhere between $15 to usually $18 to ship it. Sometimes if it's going really, really far away, it can creep over the $20 mark, but keeping my shipping cost around $20 on these things is pretty decent. And sometimes I can actually get it even cheaper than that. Anyway, it really depends, but I've mentioned plenty of times on this channel that I do flat rate shipping. So on items like this, I don't do calculated, I just do a flat rate. Even on t-shirts and shoes, I do flat rate shipping. So I just figure out a price that works for me. And sometimes you make a little money, sometimes you lose a little money. You really need to be reselling for a good amount of time. Like I haven't been reselling for 10, 20 years, anything like that, but I've been doing it long enough that I kind of know what things are gonna cost to ship. So when you're at that point and you feel comfortable, sometimes, you know, anyway, in my opinion, I think flat rate shipping works best for me. All right, next up, I sold a pair of Keen boots. Now, these boots actually came from the Goodwill bins, and I didn't really get them when they came out new. They had just been sitting there, and I think the reason why nobody had picked them up was because one had an insole and one didn't. And I looked the boots over multiple times to make sure the rubber, like any of this here, didn't have any cracking or nothing like that in it. And they're in really nice condition, besides having no insoles. Some people like to change the insoles out anyway. It really depends. You know, everybody has their own preference on used shoes. You can see I just basically gave them a quick wipe down. They weren't very dirty. Even the whites in this were pretty nice. They are waterproof. They are insulated inside. So even though there's no insoles, there's still some nice insulation inside. The bottoms, I just took a brush, brushed out as much dirt as I possibly could. They are used shoes. I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours in cleaning them up. I probably spent less than 5 minutes cleaning these up from the condition I got them in. You can see right here how it is lined, and the bottom is still very nice even though there is no insole in there. Normally they would have like the Keen insole in them. Women's size 8.5, and like I said, I picked these up at the Goodwill bins. Couldn't be more happy with them, and if I would pick these up in the store, I'd probably easily pay $10 to $15 anyway. So picking them up at the Goodwill bins seemed like a no-brainer, insoles or not. Next up, Unvented, I sold these Skechers D-Lite shoes. Now these ones, you see me last week sell a pair of boots, I believe. They were like a ankle boot, a black boot, kind of more of a wintry style. This is the same basic, it's just obviously the same brand Skechers, but it's the same line, the D-Lites. They're very nice. They seem to be very popular. And Unvented, when you sell something for $30, it excludes anything. You get $30. The buyer's going to pay for the shipping in most cases, unless they pick Canada Post, and then you get reimbursed. But most people don't. Most people pick Pure Later, and that is free for you as a seller. All the fees and taxes are paid by the buyer. So whatever you sell for Unvented is what you get to keep. I don't sell a ton of stuff Unvented, but I do sell enough stuff that it seems to be worth my time to do so still. You see, last week I sold a jacket. This week I sold some shoes. I think I also sold, it's not in this video, but I think I also sold a hoodie and something else on here. You know, I do sell things. If it was the only thing I was selling on, it wouldn't be great, but adding it into the other platforms that I sell on, I think Vinted is great in that aspect. This is a pretty good one in my opinion. And I've said this a few times in the last videos. If you're not on Vinted, you should definitely check it out because it's a very simple platform to sell on, and I think you'll make sales on it as well. Next up, we have a Depop sale, and I'm not really sure why the 50 isn't crossed out. I did accept a best offer of $35. I've had this shirt for quite a while. I do think this shirt is super cool. I think I can go down and show you some more photos. This is the front here, right? This is the back. So it's double-sided. I think that's awesome. It's got these cats dressed up as cowboys. Content for me, I think that is, I mean, I'm a cat person anyway, so I think this is hilarious and cool. It's on a Screen Star Best, so it's on a vintage tag on a vintage shirt. Right here, I'm just showing that it is single stitched. You know, I kind of do like I think at one point this was my main cover photo, no longer. But yeah, some measurements, just some basic stuff. I can't believe this didn't sell for more money, but even that, $35 US is what this sold for. So this is actually $47.94 roughly Canadian. So I'm pretty happy with that sale. I really did think it was gonna be more money. I picked this up when vintage t-shirts were really at the height of hype, and just it didn't seem to sell. So unfortunately, that's the case, but still happy with this. I think I picked this up. I know where I picked this up because when my daughter was going to school up in Toronto, I went up to pick her up to bring her home for a weekend, and I picked this up at a Goodwill up there. The prices of shirts up there, I think at the time was around $5, so it was about $5 cost of goods. But I did hang on to this for probably a year and a half. I didn't really budge on the price too much. I did some, I think I delisted and relisted on eBay a few times. I maybe did some promotional stuff on other platforms, and it didn't sell. This last time when I did a delist, relist, I think I dropped the price by at least $20 from where it was listed prior, and it did sell. But I did have to accept the best offer, but it did finally sell. Still making good money on this. I wish I would have made more money. If this shirt fit me, I probably would just keep it because I do think it's hilarious and really cool, but still happy with this sale. Next up, this is another best offer. I don't know on eBay, like I said, why sometimes it'll cross it out and kind of let you know, but this, I know I took a best offer of $95, so a $10 off sale. Not too bad. This came from the Dick's Sporting Goods pallet buy. I still have 3 or 4 of these jerseys in different sizes. I think I have 3 left. I've sold, since I did the delist, relist of all my jackets and jerseys, I think most of these have gone ahead and sold. I've definitely dropped them down. I think I had them listed around 140. I think I took them down to 105. On that actual buy, the liquidation buy for the Dick's Sporting Goods buy, if you haven't seen it, I'll try to link it down below if I remember when I'm editing. I will do that for you. I think I've definitely made my money back on that. So I don't, you know, when I listed these originally, I listed them high because I needed to get my money back out of all this stuff. And I had a lot of stuff that was what I considered store filler. And a lot of that has sold already. Actually, I'm not really left with much of this stuff anymore. Some of the stuff I'm left with is stuff that I listed high that didn't sell. So now I'm sort of listing it at a more competitive price. And once again, I'm still taking best offer of $95 on this. I don't remember what the cost of goods and everything in that pallet, but it wasn't crazy. I think it might have been like $10 or something is what I figured it out on some of these type items. I'd have to go back and watch the video myself. I feel like I broke it down into different categories based off of what it was or something like that. I should refresh that for myself because it's been a while. But regardless, you know, I didn't pay a lot for this and I got a lot of stuff all at once. I had to wait a really long time for this. This probably took a couple years to sell, to be honest. I think that video is probably a year and a half, 2 years old now. So I'm still hanging on to some of this stuff. But this, like I said, this is because it was a higher value item. This is brand new with tags, Washington Redskin, Joe Theismann jersey, Mitchell and Ness. It's obviously a throwback jersey. These are really cool. they sell for all kinds of money. I know when I got them, there was listings as high as $250, and then sold for about 190. I think with this one, I think I started around 150, somewhere in there, and I think I did sell a few, but I've been hanging on to the rest of these ones. I had quite a few of these overall. Maybe, I'm sure if I went back and watched the video, I'd see exactly how many of these I had. Just sitting here at the moment, I'm not sure the exact number, but yeah. Regardless, still happy with this sale. I think the rest of them will sell shortly, as I'm getting offers on these quite often right now. I think it has to do with the Q4, end of the year, Christmas season. People are going to buy these probably as gifts, as they are new with tags. Next up, I sold this Brother fax machine. The model is Fax 757. This is a personal fax machine. Yes, people still use these, believe it or not. This one looks like it's been used, but it has not really been abused. It still has some of the original stickers on it. The issue with this one is I don't think I took a picture of it, but you can see it says it needs ribbon. When I opened it up, the ribbon inside was actually snapped, so someone will have to buy a new ribbon for it. It powered up, the functions all seemed to work. When I tried to run anything, I could see that the film was trying to pull in it, but it was broken, so the mechanisms were all working inside. I feel like this should work absolutely fine. I mean, if not, the worst case scenario, I would just have to refund the buyer. But on things like this, I generally do take a chance on them. I didn't pay a lot of money, 13 bucks. When I bought it for $13, I didn't think there was any condition issues at all. The only condition really is the ribbon, or the toner ribbon, or whatever it's called inside. Someone can replace that very easily. It's something that would have to be replaced over time anyway. So, pretty happy with this one either way. It did sell really fast for $45. Next up, this was actually a bad buy. I picked this up at Value Village for about $35. I thought it was a different camera when I picked it up. I don't know. I think I put the model in wrong on my phone when I was checking it out. I listed it for $65, accepted a $55 best offer just to unload it. The interesting thing with this one is the person who donated it had a bunch of paperwork shoved in the side. There was somebody's these are just photocopies, not the real versions. A passport, driver's license, a visa, debit card, and they all expired in 2012, so they've been in there for a while. I don't know if the person maybe had passed away or something like that, and this got donated, but I just ripped that stuff up and got rid of it. It's all expired anyway. It's not like you could do anything with it, but it is funny what you can find inside of some of these things. This one came with a camera bag, which I did not list in the photos. It also came with 3 memory cards where I checked them out quick to see, I formatted them is what I actually did with them. Checked them out quick. I think they had some pictures on hockey photos or something on them. Look like pictures from the London Knights game or something like that. So it was just somebody's personal camera, obviously. This was not a great buy, but these digital cameras will still sell for good money if you get them cheap. I paid too much. I paid 35 bucks for this. It's crossed out. I got $55 plus shipping. Might be breaking even at best. Still happy to get rid of this one because I paid too much money for it. The other one with this one, it doesn't have rechargeable. Doesn't have like a lithium battery or anything. It actually takes actual batteries, so just to test it was kind of a pain. I was just looking to get rid of this thing. It's an older 8 megapixel camera. There's still lots of cameras that can be worth good money. Canon is a good brand, and like I said, I just comped it wrong when I picked it up. Paid too much money, but regardless, I wanted to share this one with you guys because these cameras do still sell for good money, even if I did overpay for it. If you can find them cheap, definitely pick them up because they will sell pretty quickly. Next up, I sold another pair of Fit Flops. Out of season, these are leather Gladiator sandals. So we're obviously, where I am anyway, it's end of November, getting to December. We've already had little bits of snow hit the ground. It's cold, but people are still buying these type of open shoes. But the catch with this one, the person who bought it, they messaged me and asked how much shipping to the US was. I already shipped to the US, so I thought it was a weird question. So I did tell them, but I think what has happened is they are from another country and they have like a P.O. box or something. So in this case, I just have to make sure that it gets from here to their P.O. box and then it is considered shipped. This isn't part of like the global shipping program or anything like that. This is some sort of third-party thing they're doing. So when somebody does reach out to you and it does seem odd, or it says that they're from a different country, definitely make sure that their address is wherever their address says on eBay is where you want to ship it. So I'm just explaining that to you because if they tell you after the fact that they want you to ship it to another address, absolutely do not do that. To be backed by the eBay guarantees, you need to ship it to the address that's on file. So whatever the address they have, regardless of what they're asking for, definitely ship it to that address. Some people are okay with sometimes I haven't had anybody in a long time ask me to drop ship something just flat out, like please ship it to this address. Normally I'll just say, no, I'm not interested in doing that unless you want to change your address to the address you're asking. And sometimes they ask to cancel, sometimes they'll do it. It's kind of a 50-50 coin flip on that. But yeah, for this one here, I did accept the best offer. I think $28, something like that. So not too bad. Pick these up at the Goodwill bins anyway, so probably paid just a couple dollars for them. Pretty happy with this one. Pretty happy to sell. I picked these up actually thinking, okay, so I'll get them listed and they'll sell in the spring or in the summer. But they did still sell right away. I took a best offer because of the time of the year. Really, I listed them at the appropriate price of what I thought they were going to sell for. But I don't really want to sit on them if I don't have to. Still making pretty good money. So happy to see these ones go out the door. Next up, this brand has been really good to me. This is Poshmark Canada. Vionic always seems to sell, whether they're shoes, running shoes, like a leather moccasin like this one. Flip-flops seem to sell good. It's just a good brand. I know there were some issues on eBay a while back with like Veros and stuff for Vionic, but I really haven't ran into that issue at all. I don't know if I've just flown under the radar. I haven't heard other people say that it's a little touchy depending on what you're listing. But the shoes that I've listed generally are selling on Poshmark and other platforms. I have sold them on eBay before, but these particular ones sold on Poshmark Canada, where the other one, what did I show you before? The Keens, those sold on Poshmark US. So if I didn't say that, the other ones were $40 US and these ones are $30 Canadian. So this is Poshmark.ca. These ones do have the little rhinestones on the toes. Kind of neat. You know, they're interesting anyway. And other than that, they almost have the back of them here. Here they look kind of like they look like they could be like the moccasin or the driving shoe style, but that they don't have the rubber backing right here. But that's what they really remind me of, almost the driving shoe style. Super clean bottoms. I could have cleaned them up a little more than that, to be honest. But like I said, recently with used shoes, I've been just thinking about them in the terms of they're used shoes. I try to clean them up and make them look presentable. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time cleaning these things up. I'll try not to pick up any shoes that are super dirty anymore unless the profit is really super high. With these ones, I just had to give them a quick wipe down and that's about it. I really don't want to have to spend hours and hours cleaning shoes. If I can spend 2 to 5 minutes would be max, I think. If 2 minutes on a shoe would be perfect. So on a pair of shoes, it'd be 4 minutes. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Maybe I'll do an updated shoe cleaning video in the future. I do pick up a lot of shoes, but the condition has to meet a certain standard these days. And these ones definitely did. Happy to sell these ones. If you don't know about Vionic, definitely if you see them out in the wild, check them out because a lot of these shoes do hold really good value. All right, there's a few things that have sold for me recently. I didn't do a haul video this week because I had a lot of things going on. I knew I was going to be on Scott's channel this Sunday, so I'll get a chance to show you guys some of the stuff I picked up. Plus, I have a really cool beaver item I'm going to share with you on Sunday night on the show. So once again, Scott sells stuff. I will link it down below. It is November 26th. It's a Sunday night. It's this Sunday night if you're watching this when it comes out or over the weekend where it comes out. And yeah, it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a blast. You know, come check it out, say hi, and we'll see you Sunday night.